Alright guys, I'm Sergeant Alpha and welcome back to another episode of American Truck Simulator. And one of the reasons I'm doing this video so soon is I was updating my scripts for LSPDFR and trying to get some newer stuff in, and somehow the files got messed up to where a good majority of my plugins and callouts aren't working. So if I were to do another episode right now, I wouldn't be able to do any callouts other than the 4 or 5 original callouts from LSPDFR. I wouldn't have my I would have my vocal dispatch. I would have dash cam, and that'd be about it. It's my panic button, searches, all that other stuff wouldn't be working. So I'm going to try to have that fixed and go back to recording more episodes of LSPDFR. So in the meantime, if you see more videos of American Truck Simulator or another game I record, that is why. And I am working as best I can to resolve the problem and get LSPDFR up and running again. It's just that the last time I set up my LSPDFR game was after I lost most of the files I had on my computer that weren't backed up on a secondary storage device. So I forgot to do a backup save file of GTA 5, and if I end up having to completely uninstall Grand Theft Auto and LSPDFR and reinstall it, it'll be a little bit before I can be back up and running. So I just wanted to go ahead and push this video out as kind of an explanation of why I don't have any LSPDFR. And if I'm gonna do that as the last resort. So if I end up having to do that, I will release another episode of LSPDFR, and it'll be a quick patrol. It won't be the full, almost 30-minute patrol, and I'll just use that to explain to the guys who only watch LSPDFR what the deal is and when I will try to be back. But today, on our road trip, we are in Arizona, and the whole delivery takes place in Arizona, and we're delivering a load of plows from Camp Verde to Sunshine Crops. I'm not exactly sure what town that's in. I forgot to check on the way there. Of course, that may be the town. I haven't done any real deliveries in Arizona. So we're just going to head down that way, and right now we're on the 160, and we have an ETA of 8:38 p.m., about 249 miles, and it should take us around 6 hours to get down there. And as I mentioned in my last episode of American Truck Simulator, I'm going to start trying to get started on a new save file for American Truck Simulator. That way I can record some episodes of multiplayer, and depending on what you guys want to see, I may do more single player, more multiplayer, and I'm going to try to get a step ahead and play a little bit when I'm not recording. That way I have some customization options for any trucks I unlock for when I go to multiplayer. And that was my plan anyway. And right now with my problem with LSPDFR, and I'm going to be trying to fix the problem before I run out of videos, because right now I'm about 3 episodes ahead in LSPDFR, and I did it just in case I had this kind of problem. that I wouldn't be stressing out as much about trying to get everything up running and still be able to have new episodes released and not having, say, a week without having any new episodes of anything. And while I'm waiting on stuff to download, I will be playing offline and trying to have a couple episodes ahead on this as well. That way, if I do have to download GTA all over again, I have some videos for this I can release as well. And if I run out of LSPDFR, I'll have another game recorded to release, and I may go ahead and start getting some practice runs in for another game to record. And again, that's just so I have more options on games and you guys have more of a selection of videos to watch as well. So now we're on the E9 and we're in traffic, so even though the speed limit is 65, their speed will kind of dictate how fast we're going to be able to go. Because if they're going 40, we can't really drive through them, or we could, but we'd be damaging our truck. And we can't really pass where there's not a passing lane. And since, like in my last episode, I mentioned that I like to stay a little bit ahead of my fuel supply, we're going to go ahead and do a quick detour to get some gas, and then we'll hop right back on the road and try to close the distance on our last 157 miles. And one of the other games I'm debating on whether or not to record will be 911 First Responders. And for those of you that haven't seen it or don't know what it is, it's basically an RTS from, I believe, 97 or 98. It's one of those games that a lot of people were able to mod pretty easily. Even had a special section to it to where you could get to your mods, and you could add extra cities and all that other stuff to it, and you were pretty much like a emergency manager, and you sent the cops, the paramedics, fire department, all that good stuff to different calls that you received, and you pretty much told them what you were doing. It was a top-down video game, and it's kind of older, but it's something to do if you're looking for something different and you're kind of bored. I mean, if you don't like RTSs, I would recommend that you get it, but if you like RTS, it's a different spin on the RTS genre. Most of them you are doing some kind of construction or some kind of military game. Again, this is more geared towards first responders. So if I do decide to record any of those, I'll have to re-download it and go back to finding the maps and everything I had for it, because that was one of the games that I lost when my computer crashed, and I haven't downloaded it back yet. And we're coming through Flagstaff. We've dropped our speed limit down to 25. And so now we really are just kind of cruising along at the traffic's rate and trying not to run anyone over. So we have about 100 miles left, And so it shouldn't take us too much longer once we get through Flagstaff. So we're about a little over halfway there. And it's pretty much just a straight shot down. To where we're headed. So we're not really going to have any major roads. And so I'm not sure what the speed limit will be down through here. But the only major road in the area will be 40. But we're not going to need to get on that road. We're just going to cross it and keep headed down south. And once this light changes, we'll be back on our way. Again, I'm going to be recording mostly first person, or pretty much only first person for this episode, and that is because, like I said in my last episode, I haven't found the sweet spot for having game volume and not losing my voice in the volume of the game. And I haven't really messed around with it since the last episode because I was trying to get some episodes ahead in LSPDFR, and now that I'm having to deal with the issues in that game, that will be where the majority of my attention is focused. So I apologize if you would prefer a third person episode. And once I get everything resolved again and I get time to work on it, I will change that up. Just let me know in the comment section what you would prefer to see. And we're doing twice the speed limit here, so we really need to slow down a little bit. Alright, so the speed limit for everyone else is going to be 75. It looks like it will be for us too. And the reason I was kind of hesitant to say it would be 75 is sometimes on some of these roads I've been on, there'll be speed limit signs saying that the speed limit is 70 or 75, but my speed limit is 60 to 65. Right now we're crossing 40, we're about 90 miles away, and we now have an ETA of around 7:52 p.m. So we have made up some time along our way, and we're just gonna try to merge over so these guys can keep coming, and they will try to pull out in front of us. That's where I'm letting them over. Again, this is just some of the scenery for American Truck Simulator, which I've actually traveled through Arizona. I've flown over Arizona on several occasions for different stuff I was doing, but I've never actually driven in Arizona. So whenever Arizona comes to mind, I'm thinking desert and stuff like that. I wouldn't think grass, trees, all that good stuff. Of course, like I said, I grew up and I've spent most of my life in North Carolina or somewhere on the East Coast. So those of you out there on the West Coast don't need me too much for that. Yeah, my last episode I also mentioned that I have a ton of games for Xbox 360. And I have some for Xbox One, but nowhere near as many. So if you'd rather see some videos or a series or games from one of those consoles, let me know and I will try to record some episodes for those, and we're going to try to get over here. This bus passes, so we can take our exit. But yeah, just let me know, and I will definitely try to put on some stuff you guys want to see. And again, if you ask me to record it, there's a good chance I have it, because I have a pretty large selection of Xbox 360 games, because I'm holding on to them until there's some good Xbox One games, or a decent selection that I feel are good and that I like to play. And from time to time, if I don't want to play anything for Xbox One or for PC, I'll jump on the 360, which I'm definitely going to be holding on to it now, because a while back Microsoft announced that they would not be selling any more Xbox 360s. So if you have one, hold on to it, because you decide later on that you want one again and you shouldn't have sold yours. You're just going to have to look for someone else that wants to sell theirs, because you will not find them in stores. After the stores have went through their last of their supply, which they may already have, depending on your area, that's it. You will only have the Xbox One and some of the games. I'm not sure if the game companies will continue to release Xbox 360 games, or if they'll start slowly making the shift to Xbox One only, but those games that have already been released and they're not going to be remastered for Xbox One, and to where you can only play for the 360. If you decide you want to play one of those games one day and you've sold your 360, then you're just going to have to wait until you can find a used one. But as you can see, I did get a little bit of damage on that trip. Normally I can get away without too much damage and make my delivery. And right now I am saving up to try to buy a Volvo that I've had my eye on, that got out of the Steam Workshop. And after I record this episode, I'll do another quick look through the Steam Workshop, see if they have any more trucks, and that way I have a selection of trucks to use during my recordings. That way if you guys want to see something besides either a Peterbilt or a Kentworth, I'll have other options for you. But as always, if you like what you see, give me a like and a subscribe. They'll really help me out. And leave a comment in the comment section if you have an idea for an episode, or if there's something that you think that I could do better and I'm just not as good at right now, just let me know what it is and I will definitely work on it. But thanks for watching my episode, and I will see you guys next time.